Okay, I actually just told my team about the story of how I joined the Nigerian Super Falcons, so I feel like not a lot of people know about it, so here's my little tell. So growing up in the US, I think a lot of people, when I first joined the Super Falcons, wanted to know why I decided to play for Nigeria, or if the US was my first choice and I couldn't get it. But I think during around high school, like around 18, um, or 19 is when I really decided I wanted to be on the Super Falcons. I just didn't know how. It's obviously easier when you are a Nigerian in the diaspora to kind of play for the country that you grew up in, just because you see how to get into the national team. But I just knew, honestly, in 2018 when the Super Eagles and Nike came out with that one kit for the World Cup, like that was like the day I was like, I'm going to be on the Super Falcons. So the first time I tried to contact the Super Falcon team just to see if I could come to a camp or something like that was around 2018, 2019. My college coaches did it for me, and unfortunately kind of fell on deaf ears. So I kind of didn't really know like how to join the Super Falcons. And so I was playing in Kazakhstan for a bit, like maybe a few months, and I ended up terminating my contract there and coming to Houston because my sister lived here. And I just slept on her couch for a couple of months to train with the Houston Dash and see if I can join this team and sign my first contract with them. So I ended up being a practice player for Houston, like just not getting paid, sleeping on my sister's couch for about 6 months, I think. And in month 6, the Super Falcons came to the U.S. to play the U.S. for a summer series in 2021. And there's a bunch of visa issues that happened, I guess, or something. There's an issue, and a lot of players weren't able to come on time. And the then coach, Randy Waldrum, basically hit up all of the coaches in Texas or in America to see if they had any Nigerian Americans that would be able to come to Houston and play for the Super Falcons for this game, just because there wasn't enough players. And so thankfully I happened to be literally in Houston. Me and Esther were actually together. That's why, I'm so close with Esther. We've been in this since day one. But Esther and I were both here at Houston as practice players. And he saw us train one day, and then the next day we were training with the Super Falcons, and then the next day we were doing our first cap with them versus Jamaica. And so Esther and I got our first cap that day. Then obviously 2 days later I scored my first goal with Portugal, or against Portugal, and then we're playing like the US like in a few days. And a lot of people ask me why I chose the number 22. It was actually given to me in that camp. And so I just kind of stuck with it. I floated between 22, 12, and 2, but 22 is the whole reason why, I stayed with it. I changed my club number to it, and it just meant so much to me to be this number. So yeah, shortly after I played those 3 games with Nigeria in the summer series, I ended up finally getting my first contract with the Houston Dash after about 7 months of just practicing and training for free. And yeah, I've been with Houston ever since. This is now my 5th season with Houston, my 4th year with the Super Falcons, and I'm just so incredibly thankful and amazed at God's timing, because who knows, if I just stuck it out in Kazakhstan, I wouldn't have been able to have the opportunity to be a part of the Super Falcons during that summer series, and who knows if I would be on the team today. So as I was talking to my teammates, I feel like there's 2 things that are very true about Nigerians through this story. One thing is our unwavering belief in God and his timing, but also 2, our work ethic, because obviously the timing for him to pull me out of that situation in Kazakhstan and put me on my sister's couch, and also to be able to be here and accept the opportunity of Nigeria coming for the summer series. And obviously unfortunate that people weren't able to come, but it opened up an opportunity for me to then be on the team, but also to be able to be here at Houston and sleep on my sister's couch for 7 months and just hope for an opportunity and hope for a contract, just so I can live out my childhood dream. So yeah, love this Nigerian spirit, the Nigerian grit that I have in me. And I'm just so grateful and glad to be able to be a part of the Super Falcons.